TBWS Daily is brought to you by Class Appraisals Group.
Always appraising with geographical competence and keeping more money in the appraiser's pockets.
And serving all 50 states. For more information, click the banner down below or on your right.
Good morning, this is your TBWS Daily, and I'm your host, Brian Stevens.
Frank!
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, HUD had allocated around $1 billion that they were going to use to help people make their payments who are under or unemployed. It turns out they finally got around to doing that, Frank.
Right.
So HUD's got another $1 billion to spend, and they're going to use it to provide zero-interest emergency loans to homeowners that are underemployed, unemployed, or off due to medical problems.
Right.
Now, you can get up to $50,000, but they're thinking the average is going to be about $35,000, and their goal is to help 30,000 families. But let's think about this for a moment.
Yeah. Okay, they're going to help about 30,000 families that lost their source of income by providing them with another loan that they might actually have to pay off. Further, they're going to help under or unemployed families by giving them a loan that will further push their asset, that's their house, into negative equity territory, even beyond where it's at already. Now, just let me ask you something, man. I mean, if you knew the guy down the street had just lost his job and he's not paying his bills, is that the kind of guy that you would want to lend money to? It just doesn't make any sense.
But that's precisely what the government, through HUD, is doing. Now, it's got to be your primary residence, you've got to be at least 3 months behind, foreclosure has to be imminent, and you have to have a reasonable chance to repay that loan in 2 years. Now, the reasonable chance of repayment will be determined by your counselor, which you can find by clicking the link down below.
So let me get this straight. This amounts to a no income, no credit, no employment, no loan to value loan? I mean, if ever there was a subprime loan, this is it. They literally break all the sound underwriting rules and guidelines set forth by Dodd-Frank. And oh, ironically, it's Barney Frank who came up with this whole idea and got it pushed through Congress. Now, you can get a subprime loan. You sure can. You can get it today. But it's got to be through the government.
That's right, Frank. But further, I want you to also consider this. You got to be at least 3 months behind, and foreclosure must be imminent. Now follow me. If they're figuring the average loan amount is going to be about $35,000 and your average home value is $175,000, that means your payment's going to be about $1,200 a month. So the $35,000 is going to allow you to bring your loan current and pay on it for about 2 years.
2 years of free living off the government's dime. Well, that'll get us out of this recession. Now, here's another interesting part of this whole thing. The loan will be forgiven if you begin making your payments on your first mortgage for 5 years. And then that begins at the end of year 2. So what happens is your paymentless loan, the principal drops by 20% per year for 5 years until it's extinguished. Pretty sweet deal, right? Well, let's consider this.
Okay, this sounds like a great program for the lucky few that somehow are going to qualify for it. We don't know. But I want you to consider this. There's 14 million unemployed people in the country. Now, this latest handout is going to help about 30,000 folks. This program, at its best, is going to help 0.2% of our nation's unemployed. At its best, it's a national rotten egg. Now, sorry for being so negative about this, but it's misguided. They're giving $1 billion to help a fraction of a percentage of the folks in our country, which most likely won't have the slightest chance to pay this thing back in the first place.
Further, the help is only limited to 27 of our states. Oh, and Puerto Rico. Now, I'm just saying. That doesn't seem very fair. I mean, I'm thinking you might want to help somebody from, I don't know, Alabama or Mississippi or one of the other lower 48 before you'd help a Commonwealth where most residents don't even pay federal income tax.
I don't know, it's just misguided. I mean, here's what we think that we should do. We think that we should help those that can help themselves before we help those who cannot help themselves. We're not trying to be mean here, we're just trying to be honest. Now, what if you took that $1 billion and offered 5,000 to 200,000 gainfully employed folks who could then use the money for down payment assistance in some way, shape, or form, people who could buy homes and pay their taxes and create a real tax base of funds that we could then use to help the folks that truly need it. That's money positively created, not simply printed and placed on the deficit. help those that can help themselves, Frank.
Yeah, it's like when you're on an airplane and the flight attendant tells you what to do when the mask drops. You're supposed to put that mask on yourself first and then help somebody that can't help themselves, right?
Before you help your bratty little
Right,
kid.
right.
Right now, HUD's putting the mask on the infant,
Yeah.
while the real homeowner that can contribute to all these dwindling tax bases are choking for air. I mean, it just truly lacks common sense.
It does. What gets me too is how are you going to select these 35,000 people out of these 27 states? It's just going to be impossible to do. If you're going to offer something like this up, you should offer it to everyone. Well, we can't offer it to everyone, so don't offer it all. Do something like you suggested with the down payment assistance. Makes a whole lot more sense if you're going to spend that kind of money. Agreed?
At best, it's unfair. Listen, we know that these shows go up Capitol Hill, so what we want to know is what you're thinking and how you think we could best spend this $1 billion, or if we should spend it at all. Feel free to comment down in the blog and forward this on and put it on your Facebook, because it's going to help us get the word around, and maybe some sense, if it's not coming from us, will come from you and make its way up Capitol Hill.
Hey man, got any plans July 11th?
I'm going to go back down to Chino and not get robbed.
That would be good. Yeah, we're doing a video marketing summit down there in Chino, man, Southern California. Click this banner down below to register. Everything you want to know about video marketing, soup to nuts. You can do this kind of stuff, man, yourself, and you're going to benefit your business greatly by doing that, right?
Absolutely.
Hey, subscribe for free on your right if you're meeting us for the first time, and please forward the show and share it and all that kind of good stuff. We appreciate that. We'll see you soon. Think big.
Work small.
Later.
Later.